All right, guys, in today's video, we're gonna break down a TikTok ad that in the fitness niche is actually taking the TikTok platform by storm. This is Vshred, right? So this guy is Vincent. He goes by, Vincent. He also brags in his YouTube ad videos about his workout, right? Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications, get notified when we drop some more YouTube ad knowledge, as well as some ad breakdowns. Like it says, you guys seen, we are doing more TikTok ad breakdowns because it is a popular platform right now and will work if you are doing video ads, right? So very, very important platform right now to be on. So again, without further ado, I want to break down this ad. We're going to watch it together. A few things before we look at the ad. It is a 58-second vertical ad with the 916 dimensions. And then another thing is in the actual profile and the page identity. So he doesn't really mention Vshred in his brand in the actual name. So that's actually very interesting, is that he is really catering to his audience, right? Without further ado, let's go ahead and play the video.
What's the fastest way from point A to point B? It's a straight line. What's the fastest way from where you're at right now to your dream body? It's a straight line.
All right, we're gonna pause it right here. We're gonna briefly talk about this. At the beginning, when you want to hook people in, sometimes you do it with just visuals, sometimes it's, a direct message. Right now he's asking a question, right? Very important to understand that he is trying to interact with you from a question format, right? And he's trying to put things, in perspective. Fastest way to get from point A to point B, it's a straight line. What's the fastest way to get your dream body? So right now we're talking about the desire, right? So, a pain point, you can say that is already implied in there, saying, hey, I'm not really satisfied with my body. I'm trying to get to my dream body. So he really breaks that down and simplifies it in such a way that it's, it's catching, right? So, you say, he's mentioned straight line, anybody can draw a straight line, right? So it's kind of like, hey, listen up. This might be for you if you're looking to, improve your fitness, right? Improve your health, right? So that's where he gets into the, hit the problem, the pain point that people are going through, right? So that's what we're going to be looking at next. So let's take it back here.
Now to your dream body. It's a straight line. But the issue is when people try to get in shape, they follow the fad diets. They try low carb, they try low fat, they try the Atkins diet, and then they try doing a bunch of cardio, steady state cardio 7 days a week. And what happens is instead of going in a straight line,
so there he mentions a whole bunch of things that maybe people who are watching this video may be already trying, right? So he's jumping right at it, people and right in their face, right? Not in a bad way, but saying, hey, people are trying to complicate things, right? They're trying to do all these diets, the fad diets, he says it, the Atkins diet. So straight up calling it out, the Atkins diet and, 7 days a week cardio, all these things. So these are things that maybe a lot of people who are struggling with their body or their weight, may be doing, right? So he's really calling those pain points out and saying, hey, you don't need to do all of that. So, kind of putting that aside is like, hey, you've already tried that, or if you're thinking about trying all that, that doesn't really work, right? To get your dream body. So one thing that I did not mention though at the beginning of the video, the visuals, right now kind of emphasizing on the messaging itself and the questions that he made at the beginning of the video. But what about the visual, right? The visual, so if you go back, it's a ripped body, right? That right there in itself is like, okay, yeah, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. So that's kind of the credibility in itself and authority in terms of his offer and what the message is, right? So now let's go back to this part here where he's talking about the low fat. Let's look at that one more time so we can just really grasp what he's doing with his messaging, okay?
when people try to get in shape, they follow the fad diets. They try low carb, they try low fat, they try the Atkins diet, and then they try doing a bunch of cardio, steady state cardio 7 days a week. And what happens is instead of going in a straight line, they jump back and forth on this diagonal line and get mediocre results so that they end up quitting.
He brings the straight line back into the picture, right? So again, what he was trying to do is take this concept of fitness and, let's say your dream body, right? So that's kind of like the main message, like, hey, if you want your dream body, it's not as complicated as it seems. It's like a straight line. You get from point A to point B, that's a straight line. You want your dream body, it's a straight line, but people are complicating it. So he talks about the fads, talks about the diets, and then he's talking about like, hey, most people don't go in the straight line, they go in a diagonal line, right? And they try different things and then they end up seeing that nothing works for them. So that's like one of the biggest pain points that he's kind of touching here is people are trying so hard and trying other things to get the dream body that they want, but they're not getting results, right? Nothing works for them, right? So let's continue watching here.
And they just think that nothing works for them when really they have a very specific body type. It happened the other day when I was walking into Starbucks. Some guy came up and goes, "How do you have such a good body?" And instead of sitting there for 30 minutes and talking to him about the 3 body types, I sent him to my free body type quiz that tells you the 3.
All right, let's pause it right here. I'm gonna bring it back. So he's talking about here when he says when really they have a very specific body type. So he took the pain point, right? So he's asking the questions like, hey, you know, getting your dream body is possible and it's not as complicated as it seems, right? So again, I'm looking at the message behind the message here in his marketing, right? And the message here, right? The main message is if you wanna get your dream body, you go from point A to point B, just follow this particular criteria. Now he hasn't gotten to that criteria until just now, right? He was just basically pointing out, hey, most people, they don't go in a straight line to get their dream body. They go diagonal, you know, they go through different fad diets and all this stuff. Now he presented the solution, right? So he's saying when really they have a very specific body type, right? So what is that body type, right? So he mentions it right here and he's trying to educate people about the specific body type. So that's one of the things to take away from this particular ad is that he's actually educating people and he's not wrong, right? If you go and research, like they're in specific body types. He uses that for his particular, to kind of segue into his offer and his call to action, right? So let's take a look because he already mentioned something about a quiz. Let's see.
Specific body type. Happened the other day when I was walking into Starbucks. Some guy came up and goes, "How do you have such a good body?" And instead of sitting there for 30 minutes and talking to him about the 3 body types, I sent him to my free body type quiz that tells you the 3 most important things to do to get in shape fast for whatever you're.
So we're almost done with the video ad. Right away, you kind of see if you're looking at this as somebody that's wanting to get their dream body and the guy comes out saying, hey, people don't know about their specific body type, or you just need to know about the specific body type rather. And then he goes into telling a story about how he walked into Starbucks and then a guy asked him, hey man, how do you have such a good body? You're, you know, jacked or whatever. And he, you know, used that as a nice little segue into the call to action. So it's actually a good little formula, and you know, who knows if he actually did this purposely, but it is a little nice formula where you're kind of just, you know, you're bringing in the ad together and putting all the pieces together from the beginning, where you're hooking them in with a specific question, you know, that you know, that simplifies a concept that for a lot of people it may be so complex or so unattainable, but he makes it seem very easy to attain, which is getting your dream body, right? So those are the things that that make the ad really powerful. Let's see how he ends the video here, and I'll also show you kind of their, you know, his funnel in a second.
Whatever your body type is. You can hit that link below and take the quiz. We won't ask for your email or anything like that. Click the link below this video right now, take my free body type quiz and get your personalized plan right now.
All right, so there you go. So that is the end of his ad, and basically he's just saying, hey, you know, just go to this page. This is the quiz, the same, you know, same quiz that I offered to this guy, right? Instead of talking about it, this is a quiz, and very important here, you're very specific around saying he's not gonna ask for your email, so you can go in there and actually be, you know, taking the quiz without giving away information. So that right away, that's smart because he's kind of taking away that friction, right? So he's removing friction from people to interacting with his brand and actually taking him up on that offer, which in this case is just like a free quiz to identify your body type. Now, I want to take a look at his actual funnel because you know, you guys can understand the way that he set it up, right? So let me just go here. So this is actually before the quiz, right? So here it is, okay? From his ad, you land here and you actually go through this quiz, right? So you can see it's a very simple page. This is a nice little tool for you guys to see how he's actually built it. It's called Wampalizer, and you can see what he kind of built this with, right? Kind of video players he's using. You can see, you know, analytics. So it seems to be a custom-made page here with this quiz integrated, right? With this iframe. So this is more like an iframe, right? So, you know, let's go through it real quick, right? So yes, height. I think I'm like 5'11", all right? How much do you weigh? I think I weigh about like 160 70 pounds. How active are you? Let's say very active. Okay, very simple questions you can see here. You can see that this is breaking down a customer avatar in itself. You know, this is for the person that's maybe a little skinny, you know, has a little bit skinny body type, and they want to get muscle, right? But they haven't been able to accomplish that. So it's all these questions or these answers are built in to, you know, to the pain point of each individual avatar. So that's very, very smart. So for example, if it were me, right? So, you know, I'd love to be ripped like this guy, for example. I would say this guy, I'm happy with my body, you know, I'm not an athletic guy, I play soccer here once in a while. Yeah, so let's go with this one for now. And boom. That is the end of the quiz. Very simple quiz. How many questions were there? Like 4 questions. So let me break it down. So the guy actually starts the video. Okay, so it looks like you know, you're good with your body, and he actually brings it out. So he has a conditional logic here to his funnel. You know, based on your answer, he sends you to different VSL pages, right? So like in my case, he's like, hey, you know, you're okay with your body, but you want to burn that extra last layer of fat, and he caters to this. He has like this VSL essentially. And basically you go through it. It doesn't have any of the controllers here to see the length of it, but that's smart. And he kind of makes it very specific to what you've answered, right? So that's what good marketing is about, guys. It's just, you know, if you can do personalized marketing this way, then you're gonna increase your chances of success, right? So here below you can see that he has some information about the macros, mobile workouts. So he's obviously offering a training program here at this point. And he was right, you know, it's not that he was asking for my email to take the quiz, right? So that's one of the things that he said at the end of the video is, yeah, don't worry, we're not gonna ask you for email. You can take the quiz right away. And now he takes me, after I took the quiz, you know, in this training, I'm sure he brings up a lot of good value information. This is his description here. And then basically this is his offer, right? And it's a $67 offer right here. So you can see it's included, you know, it's including all of these different courses, if you will, modules for just $67, right? So if I were to go here, that's it. Boom, and that's his funnel. Right? And I'm sure that he may have something, a higher ticket offer later down the road. If I buy this, it might take me to a thank you page and or an upsell page. That's it. So you can see that the funnel's pretty well thought out, very well built, and he has all of this information that he provided to you from the ad. It made you go through kind of like a, you know, a simple consultation with the guy. So it's kind of almost looking at it this way, right? And look at it from a, let's say from an advertiser perspective. You want to consult, you want to provide value to people so they can trust you a bit more. The guy's obviously ripped himself, so, you know, and this is a very much established brand, and it's just right there. It's just very simple, very easy to navigate and to kind of grasp the idea. It's like, okay, this guy, he's not trying to, like, you know, he's not too pushy, and he's giving me this free quiz. All right, let me take it out and let me check it out. And I'm sure a lot of people will take him up on his offer. Would be good to see the, you know, inner workings of his funnels, his AOVs, and, you know, what his CPAs are. But hey, we don't have access to that information, but at least we can see that, hey, this is a very well done offer, right? The guy knows what he's talking about, and he knows how to target, you know, and he's leveraging TikTok ads for this, right? So he's already doing it on YouTube, Facebook. Like, hey, why not? Let me go to TikTok. So guys, that is our TikTok ad breakdown. We did Vshred today in the fitness niche, online fitness niche. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications, get notified when we drop some more YouTube videos for you. And we'll see you on the next one.